This economy is dodgy. The fake market has blown up. You know, I think that there is an assumption, and it's a fair assumption, that luxury is aimed at the uber rich, but I would argue that it's probably more aimed at the middle classes and those on a lower income. Hi everyone, welcome to another video. We're going to be talking about a topic that I love, and it's one that I wanted to revisit because I've kind of got 7 reasons why, for me, I think a lot of us, luxury is waning on us. Just a little quick update before we get going. If you want a vlog, I put up a vlog yesterday, which will be Tuesday now, on the new channel. I have a new channel and it's all to do with life and it's not luxury at all. So if you enjoy watching but you're done with luxury, I will link to that video below. It's really good fun. David and I went to Brighton and we had a challenge of all you can eat is what you can find on Brighton Pier, which I'm not going to give too much away, but it's mainly junk food, which wasn't great. But I will link to that video below if you want to go and check out a recent vlog. Luxury is waning on us. We're getting a little bit bored of it. It's getting a little bit dull. We're getting tired of it, and I know that I've said before, and some of you have agreed, luxury bags, possibly, are they feeling like they're over for now? So, let's start with these 7 reasons. Number 1, the economy. It is a dodgy economy right now, the world over, I want to say. In some countries it's worse than others. I actually had one of you in Australia write to me yesterday and you said the cost of living over here has got crazy, the cost of food has gone through the roof. In the UK, tax has gone crazy. The cost of food, the cost of everything, utility bills has just gone insane. In the States, I know it's the same, and I'm sure around the world you might be watching this from other places thinking, yeah, it's got pretty bad here. If you're living somewhere where actually it's still good, let us know in the comments, because we would all want to move there. I think more of us are thinking about putting our money towards other things, whether it's travel. For me personally, I like travel, but I'm also super into investments, and I am putting all of my money into my investments right now. That's what I've been doing it for years, but I'm particularly been heavy on it in the last couple of years. That is going to pay for my retirement. And I did buy the Hermes Constance the other day. I will confess that. You already know that I spoke about that. That bag for me was the cherry on the top of the cake in my collection. I actually feel quite bored of luxury at this point. I don't feel the need to go shopping. That was the bag that was the cherry on the top, as I've said. Now I've got it, I'm like, feel like I'm done. I am not rushing to the stores anymore because I feel like there's anything I'm missing. I love luxury. It interests me. I love my bags. I love looking at them, playing with them, moving stuff one to another. But I feel like I'm done. Scandal. Scandal has been big since 2023, I feel. So 2023, there was that big scandal with Dior. And that scandal was that on one bag in particular, and we all know the bag, if you don't, it's the book, I think it was the book tote. We all speculated it was the book tote. Now it's true, they were making the bags in Italy, not elsewhere, but they were using people that were not being paid correctly, and the working conditions of those people on leaked videos that came out was disgusting. And I think we need to realise that, and I think a lot of us do, obviously it's $57 to make. That bag is like, what, £2,500? £3,000, something like that. Out of that money, that margin, obviously comes paying your staff, paying for your boutiques, paying for your advertising, paying for the VIP trips that you send your top customers on. All of that needs to come, all of that margin needs to come out of the bag. I get that. But they're still making a huge markup. And I think that when that price came out and when those working conditions came out, it made us think, how is that bag any different to a fake one? Now, of course, the other scandal that has come out has been the recent made in China thing. You know my viewpoint on this. I believe it, but I also don't believe it. I believe that some brands make in China, but I don't believe this allegation that every designer brand manufactures over there. I don't believe it. I believe that some definitely do, and I have my viewpoints on which brands those are, but there are certain brands that I will never believe they make in China, Hermes being one. I don't believe it. Let me know what you think, though. You may disagree. But that was another scandal that came out, and that leads me on to the next point, which is the fake industry. The fake industry is booming right now. You've got these videos coming out of China on social media claiming that they have the contract for Chanel, for example, and that if you buy one of their, what is a fake bag, for several £1,000s, they're not cheap, if you buy one of their bags off them, that you're somehow getting the real thing. That is making a lot of people turn their back on luxury. That combined with the scandals, combined with the price rises, I think a lot of people are turning their back. And you do still have those people that want a luxury bag on their arm, but they don't want to pay the money for it. And so they're not. They're going and buying fakes. I can't speak for your town or city, but definitely in the UK, in London, security is becoming an increasing issue. People are being robbed in broad daylight. The thieves don't care. They're being robbed in broad daylight for their phones. There are gangs that are going around regions of London on e-bikes and scooters and bikes, etc., snatching phones from people that have got their heads down in the street in their phone. Designer bags are being taken. People are being stalked for designer watches. I'm going to put some examples in here from the news just to kind of give you a bit of a taster for it and to know that I'm not just sat here making claims that aren't true. Like literally, you have to watch your back in so many major towns and cities now. Designs. Are we all getting a bit bored of these designs at the moment? My gosh, like, okay, so I was on Vestair Collective the other day and then I went onto eBay because there was nothing on there that I was after. I was looking for a Chloe bracelet bag from the early 2000s. I think it was like 2004 or something. I remember this bag and I remember really wanting it, but obviously I didn't have the money. And it entered my mind the other day because I saw someone on Instagram with it and I thought, oh, that bag's still as cute now as I felt like it was back then. So anyway, I go looking for one pre-loved. They're really expensive. Pre-loved, like a skanky old one that's all stained inside. It's like £1,800 plus. They're really expensive. But then I was just on the internet. Guys, Chloe have brought back the bracelet bag from the 2000s. They're not the only ones. Dior brought back the saddle bag from the early 2000s. Louis Vuitton brought back the Murakami range from the early 2000s. And now Fendi. They're bringing back the Spy. The Fendi Spy is on its way back. I can't say I'm angry. I'm quite pleased about it. But I'm pleased about it because I do think when they do bring back bags, it pushes up the value of things that are vintage. But it's getting boring. For me at least, and I don't know if you feel the same way. You've got these bags, like you've got the classics, like the Lady Dior, the Chanel Classic Flap, the Birkin, the Kelly. You've got these bags that are the classics, creme de la creme. You buy that bag, you're safe, it's never going to date, etc. But once you've bought those bags, then what? And then the final big one, and this does link back a little bit to the economy, but it's price rises. I don't know what happened, but COVID hit. Not that I don't know what happened with COVID, but COVID hit and a lot of brands jacked up their prices. And that, I feel, these designer brands have always put up their prices a couple of times a year. But COVID was when the price rises happened and they went sky high. Chanel in 2020, from the top of my mind, from my memory, on all of their products together. So if some products had a higher price rise than others percentage wise, but if you gather up their price rises for the whole year and collectively add up all of those percentages, they basically had a 31% price hike on everything in 2020, and they didn't stop there. They had an even bigger price hike in 2022 and so on. And some speculated that maybe they were doing that to claw back lost money from COVID. I don't know, maybe, but I think they saw it as an opportunity to capitalise on how many of us pretty much ran to those boutiques once lockdowns ended. I don't know if you remember the queues the world over, particularly in China. There were queues outside designer stores where we'd all been locked in and we had this money that we weren't spending because there was nowhere to go, and a lot of people went to designer boutiques. So in my opinion, this is why I think a lot of us are feeling jaded and why designer bags might be over for now. I don't think they're going to be over forever. I'm certainly not going to go and dump every designer bag I've got. I love my designer bags. They're fun. They're just a bit of fun in life. But I do think at the moment a lot of us are questioning this whole thing and getting a bit bored of it and maybe not using our bags the way we were. Is it uncouth to use a designer bag when the economy is the way it is? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Thank you to all of you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.